you held me thin. Now you got me reaching out. And do you see you got me falling in more times than I can get out. Down in the deep of my mind, I crawl for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, how long do I got to keep you, to keep you? Down in the deep of my mind, I crawl for you and you're always inside. Down in the deep of my mind, trying so hard not to keep you, to keep you.
Yo, 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 what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy Byron from the Byron Podcast Show, and I am joined by a lovely young lady by the name of Javelyn. Um, Javelyn, would you like to introduce yourself real quick?
Hi, my name is Javelyn.
I mean, can you tell the people a little bit about yourself?
Let's see. I'm 48.
Mm-hmm.
I have 8 kids, 18 grandkids. I moved to Charlotte from Asheville, North Carolina, so my kids can have a better life
Yeah,
and to start all over.
yeah, yeah. Just a little bit that I do know about you, Javelyn. You definitely been through a lot. You definitely been through a lot of trials and tribulations these last couple of years. I mean, you are on Google, right?
Yes, I am.
Do you want to tell my peoples how they can, find you on Google so they can know a little bit about your story?
They can Google me under Javelyn Duncan, Asheville, North Carolina.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it right there. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, this is a good friend of mine's. Um, we've been talking about, is it ever okay for a man to strike a woman? And this pretty much been a pretty interesting conversation because for most of you guys know, for years, I'm saying, I dealt with a lot of, I'm saying, craziness from different young ladies who felt like it was okay for them to put their hands on me and things like that. Um, but it's like whenever I went to my strengths, which was my physical, I'm saying, they kind of just wanted to, like, oh my God, don't hit me. I'm a woman type of deal. And of course, I never put my hand on a female, but when a man do put his hands on a woman, is it justified if she's coming up in your face, if she's been aggressive, if she's been verbally abusive? So that's the reason why I got Javelyn here to help me understand things from a woman's perspective. Because one thing I don't want to be labeled as is a woman beater, because that's not what I am. But again, is it okay, ever okay, for a man to put his hands on a woman? So Javelyn, take it away. Is it okay ever in a situation for a man to put his hands on a female?
Okay, let's look at the difference. When you say that, some people automatically thinking that the male is beating on the female.
Okay, facts.
So I'm gonna say it like this: it depends on the situation. Some women
Oh,
might not agree.
oh, okay.
I'm
What
not
what the
saying,
situation though? What kind of situation?
okay, I'm gonna say it like this.
Mm-hmm.
I have 6 boys.
Yeah.
I did bring my boys up not to hit no woman, not to jump on no woman.
Okay.
Till one son came in with his hair out. One son came in with his face scratched up. One son got slapped so hard I heard it through the AC. So once I heard that, I said, look, enough is enough. But not only if they hit you, you got a right to hit them back.
Oh, wow. You went into protective mama bear mode.
Yeah, I told them to hit them back.
Oh, wow. Even though your son, I'm just assuming, is the bigger and stronger one of the species.
It's not about the big or the stronger one. It's right, it's right. As we was coming up, what was we taught? If somebody hit you, hit them back.
Right.
In school, keep your hands, feet, all objects to yourself.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So at first I was like, because I was in an abusive relationship and I also was abused. I did abuse. But I used to tell my boys, no, don't hit no girl, don't no girl deserve to get hit on. But then I started seeing when my sons didn't hit them back,
Mm-hmm.
they thought they had the other hand. So I told my sons to start hitting them back. There was
Mm.
an altercation where some girls did come and jump on these was older girls, they jumped on my younger sons. And
Okay.
I told my sons to get them. And so one of the girls
Wow.
said, well, we girls, no boy hit no girl. And I said, well, if you don't want to get hit on, don't hit my sons because my sons don't hit you back.
Do you think women are using that? Do you think women are using that to justify their actions? Do you think women, because they are out here hitting men so loosely and so recklessly and so easily, do you think it's because no one is holding them accountable for what they're doing?
That too.
Mm-hmm.
I have two daughters.
Because do you remember the Cleveland bus driver?
Which one
It
is that?
it was a young lady who, now keep in mind, this man is a bus driver, which means it's a bus full of people. All of their lives is in his hands. And you have this female that just yelling and cussing, causing a scenery, and then she spit on him. And that bus driver said, "Oh, you going to jail now? You going to jail now?" He got up out that seat and gave her a Ryukin uppercut.
And he was right in every form. You do
Right.
not spit on nobody. That's the lowest thing you can do.
Thank you.
That's the low. And I don't want to say, oh, just because I have boys, I have girls too. And I
Right.
also thought my girls, if you don't want this man hitting on you, don't hit on him.
Right. Right.
So I done
Right.
told them that too. Go both ways. Now, just
Why?
to go out beating on a woman for no reason, no, that's wrong. But
Why? Why?
protect yourself.
Do you think it helped you to understand things from a male's perspective whenever your son walked in, scratched up face, hair all over the place, him being smacked that you could hear through the AC? Do you think that kind of helped you when it came to changing your perspective about males hitting females? Because you
Yeah,
see
that's
what
what.
we went through, because you saw
Yeah,
and
because
heard what. Mhm.
that's what did it. And then you had the females that like to play victim.
Yes, yes,
Oh, you had the females that like to play victim.
yeah.
Cause when my son, well, this was three different kids. When I told my son to slap that girl back, she
Mhm.
went and told her mother that my son jumped on her.
Wow.
Said, no, your daughter slapped my son, and I told him to slap her back. And
Right.
she was like, well, that he's a male. I said, okay. No, she was like, she's a female. I said, okay, well, raise your daughter and train
Mhm.
your daughter up not to hit a male if you don't want her to get hit on.
See, this is the analogy I always use when it comes to a male and a female. See, again, a male is not going to go into the jungle or to a forest or through the mountains looking for a bear. And once he approached the bear, get up in the bear face, provoking that bear and smacking that bear. Why won't a male do that? Well, because the male know that the bear, whether it's a female bear or a male bear, the man knows that that bear is much more stronger, bigger, and powerful. Why don't women seem to understand that the male genetically are the bigger, stronger, more powerful species than they are? Why don't women kind of grasp that? I
Because
mean,
you have
genetically.
because you have some women thinking they stronger than males. That comes to the part where we tell our daughters you can do anything, you can be anything, you can do anything a male can do. That comes into play with that too, because you do have some females that think they can beat a male. But it
Mm-hmm.
is some that can be the male,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, of
some
course.
that can be the male,
Of course, yeah.
which is not right because, okay, let's flip the role. Say, for instance, you have a male
Mm-hmm.
whose girlfriend beating on him, right?
Mm-hmm.
He go uptown to press charges. They won't let him press charges because thinking they thinking it's funny, and it's like, but you a man, you should be able to handle it. No, he shouldn't be able to handle it
Right.
because it's not right for her. She can come up here anytime and say he hit her, but why he
Mm-hmm.
can't say she hit him?
Right, 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 right. And then, but I'm gonna tell you how society has it pent against men. I don't know if you've seen Tyrese, but Tyrese, who is a very well-known singer, I got all of his CDs. Who's a great actor. I got all the Fast and the Furious. He even starred in Transformer movies. Baby Boy. He's been entertaining us for years. Well, anyway, Tyrese Gibson got on social media and he cried saying he wants his baby. While everybody was see, guess what? It was the black community that was laughing at this man, and mainly black men. So that's the reason why a lot of us men who are being abused behind closed doors, we don't say anything, because if we do sit up here and open our mouth about it, we are shunned, we are picked on, we are laughed at by our own community.
I know exactly what you're talking about. And that comes in play to where our generation, which
Mm-hmm.
we messed up as, because I done messed up with this with my kids. When our son get hurt or fall down, we tell them, man up, don't no man supposed to cry.
Right.
We not thinking, well, I'm gonna speak for me. At the time, I wasn't thinking, okay, my son fall, he crying. I'll be like, man up, don't no boy supposed to cry. Or
Right.
they get hurt. I'm like, get up, shake it off. But at the time, I wasn't thinking that a man need an outlet too.
Yes.
So it's okay to show emotions. What made me realize that was when um I'm gonna say that we grew up together.
Mm-hmm.
My kids grew up with this lady and her kids.
Mm-hmm.
Her, she got killed.
Mm.
Her only daughter got killed, and
Yeah.
her son got killed. One of her sons got shot protecting his brother.
Mm.
They had to wheel him in the funeral in the hospital bed.
Mm-hmm.
So we at the school, because we know each other from where I'm from. So we at the school, and the girls crying.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the girls crying, they showing emotions. So I go in there with the boys because, like I said, I have boys, so I have different age groups. So I know a lot of the kids.
Yeah.
And I grew up with their mothers. And I see the boys biting their lips, looking around. They like, and it hurt me because they didn't want to cry. Because we told them, don't men don't supposed to cry. And that was keeping it in so hard. And I told them to let it go. So
Mm-hmm.
I seen this male teacher, African American. I said, well, you need to go in there and tell them it's okay for them to cry.
Right. Right.
He said no. But I gave him some choice words, whatever. We ain't gonna go into what I said. But that's when I realized our men don't have an outlet, and it's okay for a man to show emotion. That's why a lot of our men are so angry
Yes.
because they don't have no way to let that anger out. That's
See,
why they don't know how to communicate.
that's why whenever a young black male gets into an altercation, all that anger that was pent up inside, that's when it comes out. And a lot of times it comes out through violence.
Yeah, because they don't have no other outlet. And then if you, I have a, I have one of my friends, he was on Facebook. He
Mm-hmm.
said, I was bitten to my girlfriend that, my mental health, telling her how I feel. And she made me feel like a simp, like I was weak.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had he's like he's my kid's brother. He was on Facebook and he was saying like he can't take it no more. He need to, he just ready to die. He's ready to go. He don't live his life. So I seen on there what people
How
say.
old was he?
Let me think. He's in one of them is in a 29-30.
29 or
One
30.
of them, yeah, one of them 30, cause he my son's friend, and then the other one is my son's. The other one is 23.
And he was already talking as if he did not have a reason to live.
He said he can't do this no more. He's tired of living. He done lost his brother, which was my son. He done lost his grandmother. He said he don't have no reason to live. So I see people tell people, don't talk like that. Stop saying that. So I be telling them, quit telling them to talk like that because they
Right,
asking for help. When
right.
people tell you they ready to go, they asking for help. They asking for help. Then when they do, if they do succeed to take their life, then you're gonna be crazy. You looking back because you're like, well, he could have came and talked to me. How could he talk to you when you sit here saying quit talking like that? And they feel like they're gonna be judged. They need a person they can talk to where they're not gonna be judged
I mean,
and looked at crazy and weak.
and Javelyn, you're right. I mean, because it's a foolish argument to think that men don't have emotions. It's a foolish argument. You know, one analogy that I would use is, let's say the husband got off from work early, walked into his bedroom, and he see his wife having some pipe laid down on her from another man. Do you honestly think the husband's supposed to just sit up here and just be like, oh, okay, that's just so and so in bed. Let me turn around and make me a cup of coffee. No, no, we're not robots. We're human beings. We're
People,
human beings. And I feel like sometimes society treat males as second class citizens. And when it comes to the Black community, I feel like it's even worse. That's how I feel. I feel like it's even worse because us as Black males, we can't go to our so-called Black counterparts because, like you just said, we would be made fun of or we would be viewed as being weak. And what do men want? I'm gonna just say it, we want pussy. We want pussy. So we definitely don't want to look weak in front of a woman because at the end of the day, we're trying to get her, and we also going up against 5, 10 other guys that's trying to get her.
and you right, us women is not gonna go. Us women, a lot of us women said we want a man that's gonna show up. We said we want a Tupac,
A thug
but
or a street guy.
we want a thug, but we also want to who can I say? Somebody that shows affection and affection. We want that, but when we get that, we want to stick with the dudes that's cheating on us, got 6 or 7 different girlfriends. We got to play
Mm,
our roles, know where we
preach,
at. So
preach,
we say we want things, we say we want this thing, but we want something different.
preach.
And
That's
it's
so
all like you
true.
said, how society look at us.
Why do you think that is, though? Why do you think women in our community they say, like you said, they want someone that's affectionate, but once they get that man that's affectionate, they kick him to the curb for the guy that got 6 different baby mamas, the guy that's cheating and stuff like that? Why do you think that is? Because it seems like it's only that way in our community. It seems like the more nicer you are to women in our community, the more you are shunned.
I'm gonna speak from for me on this part.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I done been in toxic relationships. I done been toxic. I done sit here and said I wanted a man that shows me affection, holds my hand. You know, we go look at the museum, cooks for me. But because we not used to that, well, I'm gonna put it like this. I had that. I had a man that was he walked me to my bus stop. He'll wait for me after school. He cooked for me. He was showing me stuff I wasn't used to,
Right.
but I didn't know how to love that man or love being in that type of
Mm.
relationship because I was too busy used to being in a relationship where I had this other boy that I was just head over heels for. He
Mm-hmm.
had 5, 6, 7, 8 different girlfriends. I knew my
Mm.
position, but here it is. I had this man right here, and he was so good to me. I done probably done fucked him up
Mm-hmm.
because he was being good to me. So I probably done fucked him up from the next woman because of my
Mm.
actions, because I was wanting to be with that one. The one that
Mm.
did beat on me, told me I couldn't go nowhere.
Mm. Mm. Wow. So let me ask you this. Do you think the Me Too movement and the feminist movement is making it more difficult for men to kind of like put their like how can I say it? I'll say it this way. Do you think the feminist movement is adding to the problem or subtracting the problems that's going on in society? Because now you got women that wants to do, I'm gonna say, the things that men do. Not saying the things that men do is right, but you got a lot of people pushing this narrative about women playing in male sports. You know, we can look at combat sports and we can see women competing against men. And I don't care what type of label they want to put on it, a transgender man is still a man. Genetically, he is stronger and he cannot give birth a baby. I mean, we cannot sit up here and act as if God made a mistake. So my question to you is the feminist movement hurting or helping society? Because remember, if you hit a woman, the Me Too movement and stuff like that, they're gonna come way out there. Look at how the Me Too movement was when it came to Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. The facts didn't even come out about that case. The facts didn't even come out, but the Me Too movement already put Amber Heard on as the face of the Me Too. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was team Johnny Depp. Amber was wrong. I was team Johnny. But
Good. Me too.
but I feel like okay, I don't see nothing wrong with transgenders. I really don't. But I feel like if they want to compete in a sport, they should start doing a like say you have them running track or the swimming. They should do that for the transgenders like they do for the males and the females, but they can run against their own because that's not fair.
Right. Right. I'm listening.
I'm just leaving it as that because I want the alphabet crew coming after me.
The LGBTQ plus community. I
The A
mean,
through Z crew.
well, you had a world class champion female that went up against a male that lost all of his fights. All of his fights. How about they put them in the ring together? And how about, I think it was under 2 or 3 rounds, the male ended up choking that world class female out, and she was world class. There was a swimmer who finished last when he was competing as a man, but he said, I'm going to sit up here and show how it's not fair for transgender men to compete against actual women. So what he do? He actually swam against these women and beat them all. I watched in the octagon a transgender man fighting a real woman, and the blows that transgender man was taking, if it was an actual woman that was taking those blows, she would have been knocked out. But because it was a man and because men are built genetically different, he was able to sustain those blows, and the actual female got tired and she ended up getting beat. There's another octagon moment where it was a transgender man who literally cracked the skull of a woman, and these people are getting paid to beat up women. But let a wife get up in a husband's face and smack the husband, and like what happened to your son, scratch the face, pull the hair out. Guess what? That son would be in the wrong if he at least try to restrain his wife. He would be in the wrong for doing that. They would manipulate and find a reason to blame him. They would be like, oh, well, you should have walked away. The brother could have been trying to walk away. And guess what the woman doing? Going behind him, pushing him.
That's been me before.
That's been you. I'm glad you've
That's
been
been me before.
honest.
I mean, he tried to walk away, but I felt like he bet on baby boy. He was walking away, and I got the upper head, and I hit him, and he was walking away. Then finally, he didn't hit me; he restrained me at that time.
Mm,
But because he restrained me and went hitting me, I felt like I was winning. So I
right.
was in the wrong. I was in the wrong. I
I
was in the
mean,
wrong. But you're right. The police and I'm not gonna see it as that. But see, if the police would have came, if I would have said he hit me
yeah,
because he restrained me, he would have got in trouble.
yeah, yeah. And this is another thing too, because I personally been in this situation before. When I had a woman living with me at one time, and police were called, they immediately separated us apart and was asking her, "What did he do? What did he do?" And she said nothing. And the police was like, "Well, why are you crying?" "Well, my aunt just died." But the point that I'm trying to make with that is they immediately was trying to find reasons to say I've done something to that woman. They immediately was trying to I'm gonna say find reasons to charge me for that woman who was emotional at the time. And she was only emotional because she lost her aunt. And this is what men go through. This is what we go through. A man can sit up here and commit a crime, which is not good. Okay, let's see. A man can commit a crime, which is not good, but a woman can commit that same crime and she would not serve as much time as that man would. That's how it is. Like I talked to JJ about before. There is a what's we call it out there, a crime out there called assault on a woman, but there's not a crime out there that's called assault on a male.
Now there's an extra
There's a
savings.
difference.
Whack now.
Yo, what's going on, JJ?
Lines are open and reps are
I
standing
don't
by.
think it should be. I don't think it should be a difference because
And it
if
works.
you hit my son
Mm-hmm.
and he hit you back, but
JJ,
see,
I
I
can
probably
hear
wind up
your
going to jail
TV, so
too.
I'm gonna mute you. But whenever you want to come in, or if you want to speak, definitely let me know because I can hear your TV. Can you hear his TV too, Javelyn?
Yeah,
I cut it down.
Okay, cool. Appreciate it. But yeah, what was you gonna say, Javelyn?
I said that is not fair because, like I said, I know a person that went up there to try to take him. I would know a person that went up there to try to take out a warrant on a female because she kept hitting on him. But then, say for instance, she beat him or she hit him or she's so mad and she wound up killing him. Then what? Then who's gonna be held accountable? Even
Right,
though he went up there to try to get help, but they didn't do it because you a man and a man can handle it.
right, right, right.
And that's not right.
And it's not, and it's not. I don't know if you know about this, Javelin, but this is how it is. And again, I'm not trying to sound like a woman basher because I'm not. I've actually experienced this myself. So a lot of what I'm talking about, I'm actually telling my own life story. I love women. God knows I love women. But at the end of the day, we cannot deny that there's some dysfunctional behavior that's going on within the Black community. So I'm gonna say this: if a man and a woman, for whatever reasons, is not getting along, instead of the woman a lot of the times trying to de-escalate the problem, she escalated even more by sitting up here calling her cousin, calling her brother, calling her dad. She would even call the sister. She would even call the sister to jump you. And in a lot of cases, the woman just can't be mad by herself. She got to cause other people to be mad. And they would even sit up here and lie and manipulate the conversation just to get the other people routed up and angry towards you, which is the
My
man.
my cousin got killed behind something like that.
Oh wow. Wow. Let's can you speak on that a little bit?
Yeah, I could speak on it. What it was, he had caught the girl doing drugs around his child, and he was going off. She called her cousin, which was a hothead, and he killed
Mm.
my cousin.
All because he was trying to protect his child.
Yes, which came out not to be his child.
Gosh almighty. Gosh almighty. Wow.
But we still claim her. We still,
Of
consider
course.
her
Of
family.
course.
And if you get into it, don't bring your family into it, because that's gonna make you look dumb. Say I'm in a relationship. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example with me.
Okay.
Like I said, me and my baby daddy will fight. We'll
Yeah.
fight. So me and my cousin jumped my baby daddy.
Oh, you and your cousin jumped your baby daddy. Okay.
Yo, me and my cousin jumped my baby daddy. We was fighting. He whipped us with a belt, whatever. We both came out with black eyes.
Okay.
Then next thing you know, a couple hours later, me and him was back together.
Mm. Mm. And I'm gonna tell you this, Javelyn. This is the reason why okay, like for example, in my last relationship, like several years ago, it was this woman that I was dealing with. Matter of fact, I was actually married to this woman. And this woman sat up here and called her baby daddy because she was mad at an argument we had the day before. Now, here was this baby daddy was going to basically risk his health, his life to defend her honor, which made absolute no sense to me at all. Because, for one, you're the baby daddy, I'm the husband, that's my wife. The whole situation didn't make no sense because, for one, why would you, who's my wife, even want to call your baby daddy and get your baby daddy involved in what we got going on? But anyway, to make a long story short, me and her ended up back together. So I get what you're saying. But when women do that, it makes it harder for that man to even jump back into that swimming pool, because you just showed me that you're a shark and you are willing to attack and bite at any time you get mad or angry. Not saying that that's the case in all cases, but for me, I didn't even want to jump back into that situation right away with her because, for one, your baby daddy is a hothead. And it could have turned out real ugly because I told her, call him. I'm here now. I'm in Charlotte now. Call him. I don't want to talk to you. Matter of fact, I took the phone from her. At least I tried to. But I made sure he heard what I was saying because I was that mad. But I was mad at her for even involving him.
My kids, only time my kids' daddy got involved in the relationship in anything I had going on, if it was concerning our kids.
Right.
Now, if he's in a relationship, now don't get me wrong. Now, I did have a baby daddy. He called me up. I come. But we fight together. He fighting to him, and I'm fighting to her. But we was together. Or if he had a girl, cause he didn't want to put his hands on a female, he'll call me up. But I wouldn't call him up if I'm in a relationship with somebody else, because 9 times out of 10, like you said, we're gonna get back together. That's just being messy. And now here you is mad at my baby daddy and say he want to come pick up the kids, but you still mad at him and he's still mad at you. So don't tell him what might pop off because I want to be messy.
I noticed how you said you wanted to be messy.
Yeah, that's being messy. Not me. I'm saying because that person wants to be messy.
Oh,
That'll be
okay.
that's messy. Not me, because I can handle my own.
Right.
But I'm saying that's being messy.
It is.
It's not me calling my baby daddy up because me and my husband into a lot of women. A lot of women tend to with the vows. They get that mixed up too. When you marry, they ask who comes first. And when you marry, they say who comes first.
Uh-oh,
A
you're
lot of
gonna
women
make a
say my
lot of
kids.
women mad. You're gonna make a
I'm gonna
lot
make
of
a lot
women
of them
mad.
mad, but that's what I do. They say my kids. No, your kids don't. That's why I messed up at because I with my marriage, because I had put my kids before my husband. It's supposed to be God. Oh, you're supposed to be God, your husband,
Yes,
then your kids,
yes,
then your parents. But see, people tends to take out the Bible and reword the Bible how they want to do the Bible. When you
yeah.
stood up there, took them vows, you said for better or worse, to think this will have made that little speech, whatever. Your husband come before your kids. So if you don't want your husband come before your kids, you shouldn't get married.
Mm, mm. Preach. You are preaching now. JJ, I ain't gonna sit up here and hold you up. JJ, can you hear me real quick though? I just want to ask you one question. How do you feel about a man hitting a woman if the woman is attacking him?
They want equal rights. They should be able to take equal lefts. Plain and simple.
Is the feminist movement making it difficult for men when it comes to, I'm gonna say, violence? Because domestic violence to me is not just a man hitting a woman. Domestic violence is a woman hitting a man. So the question is feminist movement making it difficult for a man to protect himself against women?
Domestic violence should go both ways, man. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It shouldn't just be one way. It should be both ways. If a woman assault a man, that should be domestic violence, period. I
I
mean,
agree.
it should, that they need to quit just trying to put everything on the man.
Like I told, Javelyn, it's a foolish argument to think that men don't have feelings and emotions. On 9/11, it wasn't women that ran into that building and lost their lives trying to save lives. It was men. It was men that ran into that building. But
Yeah.
yet we are still being treated like second-class citizens in this world.
You know, that comes from back in the day where they say the man is the breadwinner and the woman supposed to stay at home and cook and clean, make sure the house is straight, and the man could bring home the bacon, and she supposed to do what he say and take everything he's dishing out. That's where a lot of that stuff come in at.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's wrong. Because I don't know how I would have made it back in the day. My husband cheated on me with Eddie Mae next door.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm supposed to take it. No, Eddie Mae don't have to cake.
Right. Right. Right.
But a lot of our ancestors did do that. That's how the women was brought up. You can't talk. Nowadays, us women can talk back. Back then, you couldn't talk back.
Okay. Okay.
And if a man was beating on you or whatever, we didn't have no voice. We didn't have
Right.
no voice.
And don't misunderstand me. Just so my audience don't misconstrue what I'm saying. It's like I don't condone violence. Period. I don't condone a man just hitting on a woman. I don't condone a woman just hitting on a man. And I do think it's only right that a woman do have a voice because at the end of the day, women are human beings too with real emotions, real feelings. So I don't want it to seem like women are second-class citizens. Whenever Eve, God created Eve from Adam's rib. What is that? Where's the rib located? On Adam's side. It's not located on his back. It's not located on his front. She brought Eve from Adam's side. And we got to start with this false narrative that the world is putting out saying that women women, I'm a woman, I don't need a man. And men's out there saying, well, I'm a man, I don't need a woman. We need to start with that false narrative because at the end of the day, God created us for fellowship. God said it's not good for man to be alone.
Mm. Can I say something on that?
Of course.
Now we do have a lot of women that say we don't need a man. We independent. We can do this. We can do that. I don't know if you seen where I seen brief of it. I think when a girl was saying she don't need a man, she can do this, she can do that, but then she got beat up or something, and she was mad because the man didn't jump in.
Oh man. Wow. Wow. Okay.
Then you had the women saying, "Oh, I don't need a man," but say for instance, you mess with some. We ain't gonna say we just go together.
Yeah.
You had these bills before this man came in the relationship, whatever.
Yes.
Now
Uh-oh.
all of a
Uh-oh.
sudden you expect for this man to pay your bills,
Uh-oh.
do this, do that. But now Miss Independent, you don't need a man. So really you just
Yep.
supposed to have him here to satisfy you, to give you a tune up. So
Yeah.
if he wanna pay him, that's different.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
he wanna pay him, that's different. If he wanna help out, that's different. But he's not, and then if he don't stay with you, that's not his job. It that makes sure they hear me. If he don't stay with you, that's not his job to take care of you.
Right. Wow. Wow.
Even if y'all in a relationship, that's still not, you independent. You sit here and said you don't need a man. But now all of a sudden, because you got
Mm.
a man, you want this man to, that's not right. That's not right. You can't have it both ways.
Right. 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 Man, it's like if a woman with that type of mentality, I look at them as a gold digger. That's how I look at them. If your only reasons for wanting a man is so that man can provide your needs, to me, that's been a gold digger. I feel like when it comes to a relationship, the foundation should be love, not finances. And I get what people saying. You can't love don't pay the bills. And I get that part. I get that part. But what you're basically telling me is if I'm paying the bills and I'm working hard every single day, 5, 6, 7 days a week, and you mean to tell me like if something happens to me that causes an injury, what you're telling me is basically I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave because your sole purpose was never love, or your foundation was never about love. It was about finances. It was about what he can do for me. So then it's like the relationship becomes basically, how can I say it? Basically work, basically a form of work.
I feel like a woman should be able to bring something. When a man, you both should be able to bring something to the table.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, say for instance, you got hurt, whatever. That's when she should step up and help. But I'm saying if we in a relationship, you're not living with me, and I have bills, them my bills. Them not
Mm.
your bills. Them my bills. See, people tend to get it wrong. Just because then we get in a relationship. Okay, I was something you in a relationship. I got these bills. I'm looking at you to take care of my bills.
Mm-hmm.
No, them is my bills. Remember, I don't need a man.
Mm.
What was
Mm.
I don't need a man. So now that I got a man, oh, he got to do this. He got to do. He got to keep my nails up. He got no. He can keep your nails up if he wants to keep your nails up.
Where do women get this narrative of being entitled? Where did this come from?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna tell you
I
something,
don't know.
Javelyn. You might get mad at me, Javelyn, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go there. I can't even stand it when a woman say I'm a queen. Up, up, up. I cannot stand that. What? First of all, what makes you a queen? Number two, lastly, you cannot be a queen unless you're married to a king. And most women that go around here saying that they are queens, not even married, hell, they're not even in a relationship. Number three, if every woman is a queen, then it has no value to it. Number four, to me, that goes to show the low self-esteem and the mentality that is going on in the Black race, because you don't see no other race of women calling themselves queens, because every other woman are secure within themselves. But it's like when it comes to a Black woman who sit up here and say, I'm a queen, I'm a queen, I'm a queen, it's like they got to give themselves this high exalted name just to feel better about themselves.
I was supposed to think good of myself. I
That's
ain't gonna say
true.
I'm
But
not
you
gonna
don't
sit
have
here
to
and say
lie. Don't lie to yourself. If
I'm
I
not
weigh
gonna
if I weigh
sit here.
500
But
pounds,
okay,
if I weigh
no, hold
500
up.
pounds,
No,
I'm not
wait a
going to
minute.
go around here saying I weigh 180 pounds.
No. Reason why we say we are queens. The reason why we say we are queens and y'all are kings. So y'all men are told many men don't say y'all kings.
No, we don't.
So y'all can't be get mad because we said we queens. Reason why we
No, I
say
said
we are
I
queens.
hate that. I hate it. I'm not mad,
I'm
but I
about to
do.
tell you.
Go ahead.
I'm about to tell you why.
Okay.
Because before, now it was some of us that was already over here on over here in whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But before they went and kidnapped our ancestors, we come from kings and queens. That's why we say we queens. Because before they brought our ancestors over from Africa or whatever, they took us from our motherland. We was queen. Our grandmothers, great grandmothers was queens. Our grandfathers was kings. So we are queens and kings. We just need to let them know
If
we are queens.
everybody is kings and queens, then who's the servants? Who's the warriors? Who's the
What
security?
it's some queens that can be warriors. There's some
No,
warrior
no, 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 no,
princesses
no,
out
no.
there.
It gotta be queen is the hierarchy of the bunch. There gotta be a lower hierarchy. Who is the queen dominating? Everybody in the crowd cannot be kings and queens because a queen and a king are dominant. They are exalted. So who's the
Well,
servants?
I guess that's where when you have low self-esteem, that's where the peasants part come in at.
That's where
Because
the
I
what
know when
comes
I
in at.
the peasants, because I know when I walk in the room, I want all eyes on me, and
But
I am that
do that make you a queen because you want all eyes on you? Or does that
I want to
simply
be
mean you just want attention?
both. Because they
Okay.
will say, look at that beautiful black queen right there walking through here. That's what I held high. We got to
So
think high. We
so
have to think highly. If we don't think highly of ourselves, who will?
I think nothing. No, that's the difference though. I'm not saying don't think highly of yourself. I just don't like the fact that women, I'm gonna say like you, are giving yourself these false narratives.
No, you
How
can't
is it
say
not
like me.
false? Are you
You
a
can't
queen?
say you can't say like me
Where's your
because
kingdom at then? Where's your kingdom?
hold on.
Where's
I
your
don't go
king?
around. I
Where's your
don't go
king?
around. I'm looking for my king, but
But
I
so
don't
you
go around.
can't be a queen if you don't have a king or married to a king. Do you see what I'm saying?
I
I'm not
came
saying that to
from
be
a queen.
funny.
My
I'm
mother
not.
was a queen. I came from a queen. But let me back it up. Back it up. Back it up. I don't walk around and say I'm a queen.
You
I
just
become
said you were though. You just said
no.
you were. You said when you
I'm
walk into the room, look at that
yeah.
beautiful black queen.
Yeah, because that's how when you walk in the room, you gotta hold your head up high, look straight,
I'm,
and let them
I'm
know.
with that. I'm with that part. I'm with all that.
But
Mm-hmm.
but let me take it back. This is where a lot of women gonna get mad because they don't like to be called this word and they hate this word of men. I call myself a bitch.
Wow.
I am the bitch. You know
Dang.
why I'm a bitch? I'm 100% bitch. You know why I'm a bitch?
Why?
Bitch mean better in taking care of herself.
So you gave that an acronym. You gave that word an acronym.
Actually, yeah, well, my aunt gave it to me.
Because you
That was
know
my
what that
first
word really is, though.
better taking care of herself. You can say what you want to say. You can say what you want to say. That means better taking
See,
care of herself.
hey, no, I'm with that though. You taking some of the punch out of that. Even though a lot of women don't use that word in the way and in the sense that you're using it.
Yeah, I mean, when I was coming up, this girl, we was at a little teen club. She was like, look at that bitch there. So, I'm looking around. And she was talking to me because we had words, whatever. And I told her, I said, if you're going to call me a bitch, make sure you say the bitch. Or I did say queen bitch because of little Kim. But I said, make sure you give me my rightful name because I am that bitch. Better in taking care of herself.
Javelyn, this has been fun. It has been fun. Javelyn, how can my audience meet you again? Like, where can they find you at? I know you got a Facebook page. Do you want to give out that information? I think some people will love to follow you, and we got to talk some more about certain things.
I am on Facebook. My platform is Facebook
Mm-hmm.
under Javelyn Duncan.
Javelyn Duncan, and that's it. There's no at or anything like that.
No, you
Javelyn
just
Duncan.
find Javelyn Duncan.
And in
My,
closing,
my page bipolar now. I don't go on my page thinking you're gonna see some preaching because I preach 1 minute, cuss 1 minute, talking this and that. My page is very bipolar. So you'll be shocked on what you see on my page.
this was fun. This was fun. Ladies and gentlemen, definitely go over there. You know what I'm saying? Follow Javelyn on her Facebook page called Javelyn Duncan. She got a lot of interesting topics. She is fun to be around. She's also a speaker. You want to tell my audience about you being a speaker?
Um, I'm not really a speaker. My son got killed, so I tell his story.
Yeah.
I'm keeping my son's name alive, so I tell his story, and I have a movement called Enough of the Gun Harassment.
Yeah. Yeah. Enough of the gun harassment. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm definitely going to try to bring you another story tonight. If not tonight, tomorrow. I'm definitely want to be more active on the social media scene. Want to bring different topics. I'm not saying that y'all have to agree with me. I'm not saying y'all have to agree with Javelyn, but it is something different, you know what I'm saying, to think about. And that's what my podcast is all about. It's about thinking outside the box, giving y'all a different perspective in a different way, you know. And JJ, thanks for joining too, man. I know you got a lot going on. Thanks for just giving us your input too. Hope everything gets better. And Javelyn, you know, we got to do it again, young lady.
You know how to get in touch with me.
All right. God bless everybody. Peace.
Do you remember how you held me then? Now you got me reaching out, yeah. And do you see you got me falling in more times than I can get out?